Hi there, it's Jude Chi here, and I'm continuing with my little series about weather and particularly Scottish weather, which is where I live and which is where I love to paint. And I'm kind of holding this painting quite near to me because it's quite difficult to see it with reflections, and I don't really want to unframe it in order to show you. So I'm keeping it quite near, and I'm going to turn the screen around so you can get a better look. But this is another painting in the series from the day that I was out painting in the very heavy rain and storms. And this is from a different location. This is where I spent the morning, which was at Loch Eilein, which means Loch of the Island. And it's a beautiful loch, you can walk around it. And on this day, I was nestling by the loch in the trees, in ancient trees, which are just magnificent. And it started to rain, and then it became the most spectacular rain, the heaviest rain possibly I have ever witnessed in Scotland. And I ended up, I'm just going to turn around so you can see the painting, that I really just had to retreat and take shelter. So while this painting was growing and being born, I literally had to just throw it into the heather and leave it, because if I had taken it with me, everything was going to get washed off in my clothes anyway. And I just left it there. I threw a stone on each corner to try and anchor it down, and I retreated and went back to try and get a bit more shelter in some of the more dense trees. So it's definitely full of atmosphere, and in some ways it's quite a dark painting, but at the same time there's this squally kind of thing going on with the water, and all the trees just seemed really like they were standing strong, but they were really battling, and they were really able to stand up and cope with the storm of the day. And it was coming in squalls. So 1 minute it wouldn't be so bad, and then literally within seconds, completely drenched. The paints, I was using inks as well, but what was really special was the inks all started to do their own thing. So I really didn't have to do very much. I kind of rubbed my finger over areas. I got some twigs, pieces of bark, and created more of a structure to the trees. I threw some more water from the loch on some parts, and rather remarkably, the painting was born. So it was a really, really fun painting to create, and very atmospheric. And I'm always amazed how I sometimes bring some paintings home if I've been painting outside, or I've got a few paintings on the go at once, which is usually how I work. And what's really interesting is that when I then come to decide what I'll frame and what I won't, sometimes I look at a painting and think, not sure, you're needing a bit more, or I might chop you up and make you into smaller paintings. And this one, when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, you're a bit dark. And I thought, well, that is the day. That is the day. That is the squall of the day, and things pass through our life that throw us, and we have to retreat. We have to pull back. We have to get ourselves to safe ground. And I guess at this time we're all finding our safe ground, wherever that may be, and we're having to rein ourselves in and get through. So it kind of spoke to me at an emotional level, and I decided I would frame it. And I'm so pleased I did, because when I popped it in the frame, suddenly I felt it came alive, and I felt that it felt less dark, and it felt like I was honouring the time. I was honouring the storm, and I was honouring that I weathered the storm that day. So I guess another little message of hanging on in there, and yeah, and there are interesting things can happen if we're prepared to just be present, be there, even if we get a bit wet, soggy, cold, whatever. But then I really enjoyed having this popped in a frame and showing it to you today. So thanks for being here with me. I'm doing a little series on weather, so I might go and look for one of my paintings that's a bit more sunny perhaps, or I might move from this cloudy, squally, very rainy day to maybe some night skies. So let me go and find another painting, and I will be back with you again very soon. and I'm so enjoying sharing these paintings with you. And if you've got any comments, any requests, if there's anything you would like to see more of, then do let me know, because I would be delighted to do that. So I wish you a good rest of day, and thank you for sharing time with me, and I'll be back again soon.